to get the important things I need to know, and also personally be able to read and also sharpen my skill. Thank you, man.
Okay, great. Well done. Nobody is clapping. So let's go to the next person. Ayomi, did you want to say something?
Ma, okay, let me just say something. We said, why are we here? We are here to learn. We need tips beyond just being an intern. After the internship program, all of us are looking forward to acquiring a job, right? So we need our tips on how to just find, how to just tailor ourselves, even when we get the interview. We just need that thing that will just be like a word that we already have to get us prepared for our job readiness and all of that. That's why we are here to learn from people that's done that ahead of us. Thank you, ma'am.
Beautiful. Well done. Nobody is clapping. All right, next person. Can we hear from Gabriel?
Others have said the reason why we were here. It is quite obvious that we are here to learn the tips. Maybe we have been doing it wrongly in the past. So those who have excelled in that area, I think you keep bringing them to talk to us, and this person is one of them. So we are here to learn how to navigate and get the jobs. We are all of us are looking for something better or something to augment what we are already earning in our respective places of work. So I'm here to learn tips that will help me secure and sustain a very good lucrative job. Thank you, ma.
Well done, Mr. Gabriel. Why I love to personalize it is because you might be here based on a particular reason. Maybe there's something you've been doing and you're not sure if you're doing it correctly, but you're not sure if another person is doing that as well. So that is why I always say before our event, each and every one of you to think about the topic, think about yourself, try to put yourself in that position and bring out things, personalize them to your own interest. Do you understand? That is why I want to hear from each and every one of you why you are actually here, so that our speaker can listen to you, and then when she's speaking, she can touch each and every need of yours. So I'd love to hear from Vivian. You are not clapping. So Vivian, Vivian, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, we're here to know how to do better with job interview if we have one, to know how to answer questions, understand what employers are looking at for, and how to stand out. Thank you.
I love that last statement. What employers are looking out for and how to stand out. Okay, quickly. We just have two more people, so let me ask them. Fatima. Fatima is not here. All right, Tina.
Good evening, ma.
Good evening.
They have said everything now. It's the same thing we are here for. What is in their minds? What's in their mind?
All right, that is fine. So, quickly, I would love to invite our wonderful speaker. It will interest you to know that our today's speaker was once an intern, and immediately after her internship, she got a gig. Not just a job, her first international job. And then she said, I would love to help and guide other interns like me on the strategies I use, on the things I did, how I implemented what I learned. And that is why she's here, to guide each and every one of you on the same road she followed in landing her first job, not just a first job, but an international job for that matter. So please, if you are here today, get your pen and paper. Open up your ears. Anything that is going to distract you, put it aside. Because Emanuela is here today to tell us strategies that worked for her. So if these things worked for her, it will work for you. Do you understand? I don't know if people are following. Great. So that is why she's here today, to guide you through the same path she followed. She was an intern, just like you, seated on a call like you, carried out soft skills like you, and at the end of it all, has paid. And it did not just pay, it paid big time. So, my dear EDTS interns, I would love to welcome our wonderful, hardworking Emanuela Evantus on the call. Emanuela, are you here with us?
Yes, I am. It's actually Amelia.
Emilia.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma.
It's just Amelia. It's you can address me as Amelia Event. Thank you. And thank you everyone for having me here today. And thank you, Francisca, for having me here today. It's truly an honor to be here to share the ideas I have. And I'm hoping I could share the information I have and the things that I did that actually helped me. So first of all, I'm going to introduce myself, what I'm currently doing, and how I ended up here. So my name is Amelia Eventus. I studied estate management for my undergraduate degree. And shortly after that, I joined the banking sector and I worked for 5 years. And within that period, I needed a career switch, right? I came from a non-STEM background, a traditional STEM background, so I needed a career switch. And part of that was for me to gain a master's degree. So I pursued my master's degree and in business intelligence. I'm currently running my master's degree in business intelligence. But before that, I started learning data analysis, like Excel, like basically Excel, and through boot camps and everything. So I didn't really have a first-hand experience in data analytics. And then I started my master's degree. And part of my master's degree program is for me to get an internship, right? A paid internship in the field for the first 6 months of my master's. So that was for January, from January of this year till June. So I started applying, and then I applied and applied. Nothing was working. So I kept applying. I stay up at night, and then application, I'm just getting the auto rejection like we almost do. I even documented it on my LinkedIn, and I had an Excel file that I was using, but it was more like as soon as I send the email, sending my application, I'm getting an auto rejection. So I said, okay, let me strategize. Maybe it's not working. So I learned another way of like reaching out to recruiters, like companies. So what I do is that I go on LinkedIn, I reach out to recruiters, and then like, oh, I would like to work with you, so and so and so. Most people will respond, and most people will not respond. So for the ones that responded, right, or like, oh, I would like to schedule an interview with you and to see how it goes. So when they respond to me, I will like schedule an interview. I've done that. Most of them from the first interview, I'm just thrown out and I don't get a response and everything. And then I'm wondering what is wrong and why is all these things happening to me? It was my fault. It was everything I was doing wrong. Now the first step was me getting an interview, like at least with a company, and I got an interview, but I wasn't presenting myself very well. I couldn't articulate my words. I didn't have any idea about the companies, and I'm just going in there empty-handed. And for the second part, why most the ones that I went through people, like the recruiters that accepted me through the LinkedIn connection, was because my CV were not really good. It was just like the ATS would just throw out my CV. It wasn't aligning. The words were not being picked for me to be scheduled for an interview. So all those things were the things limiting me, at which I did not know that they were the problems. And also my skills were not really much. They were not enough. I didn't have projects that I worked on and every personal project since I just transitioned into data analysis. So that led me to like coming to ETS after I had my own fair share of rejection. So actually in May, I had an accident, right? And it left me broken, and I had a broken bone, which I stayed in the house for about 3 months inside my room. So in the midst of that, I couldn't go out. There was nothing for me to do. I was just inside the house every day in my room. I couldn't go out. So I thought of what to do that period. It's either I fall into depression or I figure out what to do with my life. And then I came across EDTS and I had to email, I think just it was Francisca or somebody from LinkedIn that I wanted to join the EDTS internship. So when I joined, I participated in everything. The main idea for me to participate was to be confident in the knowledge I have, the skills I have, and to be confident when I go in for my interview, because it really helped me, actually did. Because we had some few presentations where I spoke, I presented our project and everything, and I was able to share some things on LinkedIn. People saw my profile and I documented them on GitHub. So those were the things I did. I built my GitHub profile, Medium, and data science profile. So I had some projects that I had done because I knew that in the last part of my school year, I'll be going for another internship, which was very compulsory, which was needed for me to graduate in school. So I needed to set up my A game to be selected. And I had the targeted companies that I really wanted to work with. So after everything, during that period, and internship was over, I took a break from LinkedIn and everything. I started practicing everything I knew, practicing my speech, how to apply. So on this call, I'll be showing you guys how to tailor your CV and how to search for jobs and how to reach out to recruiters on LinkedIn. So these are the two major things I'm going to show you. I'm very sure that everybody is familiar with ChatGPT. It should be your number one friend. It should be the one to help you, both from the period where you have to email recruiters. You don't send generic messages to them. You send a pinpoint messages that when they see your messages, they will respond to it. That's the first part, because they get a lot of messages from people. And the second part, you have to tailor your CV. The first thing you have to do is ensure that your CV passes through the ATS. That's the first thing you do. And also, when you're messaging recruiters, they should be able to respond. You give them a reason why they should respond to you. And not just that, after you've gotten a response, how would you present yourself? Nobody wants to employ a mediocre. I need somebody that just come in there and don't know what they are doing there. They want to see that you actually know their company. They want to know the reason behind you applying to their company. Yes, we want the money, but why do you want to come to their company? What do you have to offer to them aside the skills that you claim you have? You have Excel skill, SQL, Power BI, and all those stuff. What can you do with those skills? So you should be able to present yourself and market yourself. So I'll be showing you how to like do all those things then. So back to my story, how I got my internship. So I actually reached out to, when it was time for me to apply, I started applying. I used ChatGPT, tailored my CV, ensure that it's aligned with the jobs that I was applying to. And I started immediately I started applying, I said I wanted to get an internship before the month of October as against January when I would start. So during September, October, August I started applying. So in the last week of August, I applied and I started getting calls, interviews. So I only focused on two, which were one of my top priority companies I wanted to work. So when I got an invite, I prepared like I was studying for an exam. Yeah, I actually had a lot of notes, sticker notes, like I was writing everything. I reached out to people in the companies whom they could share their ideas on about the company and everything. I Googled them, I researched. If you come into my room, I'm always researching as if I have an exam. Meanwhile, it was just an interview. And the difference was there compared to my previous interviews because the interviewers liked me. In every step of my interview, I knew that I was going in for the next stage, and that was it. So at the end of the day, what stood out for me was the research, the knowledge I had about the companies, and how ready I was, because I was confident in my skills. I was confident with my speech. I could articulate my words irrespective of how the questions coming to me. So you don't just go there fidgeting. If you're scared, they will mess you up. The interviewers need to know that I am bringing this person can help in the midst of anxiety or fear or anything. Maybe if they face challenges in the company, like they can stand on their feet and make decisions for themselves. Yeah, that's what they are looking at. And you should be able to accept the company. They want you to accept the company because the interview is like a two-way. It's not a Q&A, like question and answer. They know that you want them and they actually want you. So in as much as we are going in for interview, you are also interviewing your interviewer. Let me use that word. So you have to interview your interviewer to know if the company is the company where you want to work, the people who you want to work with, and the people and the place. So after I got some calls and everything, so I got about 3 interviews and I worked with 2, and the other ones that were coming in, I like rejected, and I'm like, oh, I'm going in for this particular company. I do not want it. So it was a good experience for me. It was a wonderful experience. So I told Francisca that I would like to like share my idea and the things that I did that worked very well for me. And by the grace of God, I will be starting my internship in one of the tech companies here in France by January. So imagine securing an internship in October as against January. So yeah, so thank you very much, everyone. So it was a wonderful experience. So I'll be sharing my screen first of all on how to message people, companies that you want to work. First of all, I set an alert for the jobs that I want to go for. And I know that this has also been said, it has been posted on LinkedIn. Most of us really also go for jobs that specifically state data analyst. But here's the thing, anything that requires you to use your skills in data, apply for it. Because I applied for supply chain analyst, I applied for trading intern, I applied for any payment specialist, anything that I could use the skills that I have in Excel, SQL, Power BI, everything that I have learned, machine learning, all those things, I just put it there. So first of all, permit me to share my screen on LinkedIn, and this is how to reach out to like recruiters if on your LinkedIn page. Please, if you can see my screen, you let me know. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
So now this is my LinkedIn page in my laptop. So I prefer using the laptop. And now let me go to my job, the ones that I actually have I've saved them. Let's say, for example, I want to apply for this particular job. I hope it's still available. Then I could go to the company. Okay, let me use this one. Now, these are the people that are hiring. For example, they said people you can reach out to. You just go there, you show all, and then you message. They are all my friends. We are connected with them. You could just send them a nice message. You ask ChatGPT to help you send a message that has a humor that can let the recruiters respond to you immediately. So this is one of the messages I sent to a recruiter last year, and the CEO of the company, and he responded to me. So pardon me, please. Okay. So this was one of the message I sent to him. You see how I sent him the message. This is a CEO of the company. Hello, Nicholas. Hopefully soon to be a fraud fighter. So as soon as I sent him this message, like I sent him a direct message, he accepted my connection, and then he just said, Emilia, you can connect to Stephanie. So immediately he sent it to her. Like he already sent a message to Stephanie asking how to that somebody was going to reach out to her. And meanwhile, a rejection was sent to me. But immediately I came back to meet her and I'm like, oh, they sent me a rejection. They had to reverse it. And like, oh, they would like to interview me. So you see how it works. Reaching out to people really help you. Like it takes you one step ahead of the whole recruitment or ATS and all those stuff. So I believe that if you're trying to reach out to them, like it will help you. So one thing I don't know about, I feel like you can reach out to anybody. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing I have learned in all this journey. You can reach out to anybody you want to reach out. The worst case scenario that will happen, they will said no, they will not respond to you. And then you move past. Just reach out to anybody you want to reach out. So let's go back to reaching out to people with people that are not connected to you, and then you want them to you want to message them. So for those people, I prefer using a laptop if you want to send to a connection somebody that you're not a connection to. So I'm looking for someone I'm not connected to. Let me show you. Let's say, for example, I want to send this person a message. I want to connect with this person. I'm already connected. Who do I send a message? Okay, let's say, for example, I'm not connected to this person and I want to send her a message. You go to their profile, you see connect. It will ask you send without a note and add a note. So I always recommend adding a note. Meanwhile, you can only send to 3 persons if you're not using a premium. So you click on this place, you send a note. It only takes 200 characters. Make sure that whatever thing you are writing is such that the person will respond to you. And then you send whatever thing you want to send. That's for recruiters. And then they will respond, or they either responded or they do not respond. That's the first step. If you see the job that they are recruiting for. And now the second step is your CV. So peradventure now I want to apply to this job. If I want to apply to this job, what I will do is that I'll copy this whole thing that is here. I'll copy everything here and go to my LinkedIn, my ChatGPT. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes.
And then paste it. And then I pick my CV. I'm just going to use one of my resume here. So the first thing I will do is that I want to apply for this job. And I need you to act as a recruiter. So have you seen now? It's telling you what you're supposed to do, where your job matches, and fix it where you think you need to fix. So whatever this it tells you here, that's what you will do. Put in the words that they are looking for. Worst case scenario is that when it's time for you to go for an interview, you read about it. So that is what I did. If you don't have an experience in it, most times we'll be lacking that particular words that the ATS will pick, and that's why our CV gets rejected. So I'm going to share my CV and show you how what I use, a typical CV of mine if I'm applying to a job. You know, most of you have a lot on your CV, but it's the major thing that they're looking for. That's what you should use. Can you see my screen? So this is my CV. You have your CV looking like this. This is a typical example of what you should do. I have a lot of experience, but I just put in whatever thing that was necessary for me at that point. I have for that particular job. And now make sure that if you're applying for, maybe for example, you're applying for a supply chain analyst, make sure that on the heading here you put supply chain so that the ATS is going to pick whatever thing it is. The idea is for you to get into the door first. You have to battle with ATS. So the first thing you have to do is ensure that if it's business, HR analyst, supply chain, healthcare analyst, ensure that you put if it's marketing data analyst, whatever thing, ensure that you have it on the heading. And then you put a note like an opening statement, all this so that you pass through ATS. I keep saying it because ATS is our biggest challenge. And I always tell people like keep it a one-page CV, like let it be a one-page CV. Another thing is to quantify your CV, not just writing, like put whatever thing you did in this thing. I think I should be able to share this CV, like maybe I remove my details in it and then share it to Francisca. She can share it to you guys. So you can use my template for it, for the CV. So this is a typical example of my CV. This is what I actually use, like for most of the jobs that I apply to. So now we are done with this. Let's see what ChatGPT has to say. And then it's telling you what ATS look for. Like I said, growth marketing, all the things that they are saying about the requirements for the job, all these things should be found somewhere at least in this thing. So see, for this one now, 62% match, which is not so good. So now it will tell you, let me give you a quick improvement of what to do. So you just tell him, could you fix this CV so it matches the job description and quantify all experiences. So it's whatever thing you feed ChatGPT, that is what it's going to take. Whatever thing you feed it, you have to like, it's more like a machine, like you tell it, do this for me, it does it for you. So that's it on this side. Ensure that you on your own, you are confident that that thing that you are doing, like your CV, you're confident in your CV that it will pass through. Believe me or not, it will. Because when I started doing this, like I get interviews every week. My CV passes every week and apply to that job, because if you don't apply, you will not know if you are qualified or not. You have to apply. Whether they are telling you they need all this thing, just apply. Worst case, you will get a rejection. But what if you get accepted and you get an invitation to interview? So now we have passed through this stage. Then what happens when you are being invited to interview? What will you do? What do you have to do? Will you miss your chances? Yes, I did. I missed my chances, even after all the connection I did with the CEO and all those stuff. But I blew my chances. Reason why? I did not research about the company. Why would I do that? Because I was confident. Will I say I was confident? I wasn't confident a lot enough with my skills. I wasn't sure of what I was doing. I felt like I could just go in there. It was just a normal interview. But there were people that were more prepared than I did, and they nailed it. So when I got rejections those in March, when I started applying this month again, this August, what I did, I went back to the feedback, because I always request for feedback if I have done like one or two interviews with you. So most of the interviews feedback I have, they were like, oh, I had the skills, but I couldn't communicate very well. And I wasn't knowledgeable about the company, which was very important. It felt like I don't care about them. I just wanted a job and everything, which are part of the things company look out for. So the next thing I started doing was, like I said, I prepared very well. I had a template which I followed for my interview preparation. I reached out to people who were in the companies, who like anybody, the directors, and like, oh, can you help me? What are the things I have to look out for? I did my research. I researched like I was learning. So when it was time for me to go in for my interview, when they were asking me, I prepared a note. First thing I always tell you, if you get into the door, introduce yourself. Your introduction is your selling point. Whatever thing you say, that's what will give you the confidence. When they tell you introduce yourself, say everything you know. You have to say it. Like now, if I want to introduce myself, depending on the company I'm working on, like my name is Amelia Evant. I have worked in social company. This is what I did for the company that I worked for. And the reason why I want to work in this particular role, because I have these skills that will be applied. And also I would love to learn from your company. So yeah, that's your introduction. So like you have to let them know that you have done your assignment. So not going there to like, oh, my name, introduce yourself. And one thing I also do again, if I get an interviewer, oh my God, I go there. I will search on you on LinkedIn. I'll be sleeping on your LinkedIn page. Like I need to know what I'm going to ask you. For example, one of my interviewers that I did, I noticed that she left the company and then came back. And then when she started, she introduced herself. Before she started talking, I'm like, I have something to say. I always say first to give me a ground, to give me confidence. Say, for example, she introduces herself, oh, I'm this and this. I'm like, oh, I noticed that you left the company and then you came back. What was the reason behind that? Could you please share me the reason why you came back to work in this company after you left for like 2 years? Or for example, I would like, oh, I noticed that you've worked for so and so company, like one that she worked in BMW, she worked with Rolls Royce, and then she's working in something. I'm like, you have worked in these big companies for like how many, 3 and 2 years, but this is the longest you have stayed in this particular company they're working. Can you give me a reason why you have done that? This is like in the beginning of the interview. So it gives you balance. It tells the interviewer that you have done your assignment. You are not just coming there. Like, make an interaction. Let it be a conversation, not like a Q&A section. You converse with the person. Be confident. Now, if you are not confident, like if you're not sure of why you are going in, you will flop. You will not be able to say anything. So if you don't do your assignments, you will go there looking like a zombie and they will mess you up. You will not be confident. So what was different from the previous time, I could tell by my own, because even people around me knew that I was really ready. So when I got the interview, they were like, you deserve it, Emilia, because you worked for it, you studied, you did your research and everything. And one of those days when I did mine, I think I posted it in one of my social media, like I cried during my last interview. So you can imagine what it feels like crying. Not because I was sad, because of what the interviewer said to me. She said after the interview, like, I don't know you from anywhere. I've never seen you before. I've never seen your profile, but I just want to tell you something. Keep doing whatever you are doing. Don't let your lights off. Don't let anything dim your lights. Continue with what you're doing. Everything that is making you happy, just do it. That was because of we had a good interaction and everything. And then, like, after then, she kept on messaging me. I'm looking forward to reaching out to you. I knew I was going to get the job, and like, it was just it for me. So what I'm trying to say is that don't go in with the mindset that you cannot do it, because the moment, that's how it works. From the moment I tell myself I will not get that thing, I will flop, I will say rubbish in the interview. But if I go in with full confidence, that by confidence doesn't mean that you are going in as a practice, because you are knowledgeable about whatever thing you are facing. Because nobody can, you will not be scared of saying your name, because you know your name. Even in your sleep, somebody can tap you, what's your name? So you have to, as you're going for the interview, if you need time to, like, oh, I need to study for this, maybe you postpone your interview date, and you can do that. Just do it. So I just want to encourage every one of you now. You've learned the skills in EDTS. Forget about how many people like your post. If you need to work on a project for you to gain that confidence, please do it. If you need to, like, exclude yourself from people, because that's what I did. I excluded myself. Even after EDTS, I worked on various projects that I knew that, oh, I could point it out that this is what I do. I was confident in my skills, very, very confident. Because before I joined EDTS, like, oh, I could do Excel and everything. Yeah, but I didn't really have that idea, that confidence. And I forgot to ask, one thing that made me more confident, and like, oh, I need to work on this. After I posted the one of my project I did, a friend of mine reached out to me. He didn't know Excel, he didn't know everything. And then it was like, oh, I got an interview to present, to do an Excel and everything. I would like you to work with me. That he has seen all the stuff I have done. He would like me to work with him and help him to pitch for his interview. So I worked on the project with him. Like, I literally did the Excel, the dashboard and everything. And when he presented, they were like, did you do all this thing in Excel? And he said yes and everything. So I walked him through his presentation and everything. And the people right there, they told him, please, if you have an offer, just give us some time. We would work on your profile. Like, do not accept the offer you had. Like, this is a nice presentation. And when I saw that, I felt a little bit bad. I'm like, oh, I know this. And this is somebody that doesn't know this. And he's getting anything. How much more I should put in the work to help myself? And that was where I took a snap. Like, I'm like, oh, so if somebody can get this job who does not know this thing, how much more me? I know I have the skills. I just need to work on my confidence. So I went into work, I studied, I practiced. I did not want to flop. I needed to nail my interview. So it's okay for you to get invited, but it will hurt you a lot that you managed to get into the doorstep, but you did not get an offer. So aside from getting an interview, getting the connection, being able to secure your pass through ATS, what do you have to offer to the company? So when they ask you, why should we hire you? You should be able to say something, not because you say, I want money and everything. And now let me say one thing again. The interviewer asked me, what's your weakness? She said, before she asked the question, she like, I don't want you to say the generic words. I don't want you to look at ChatGPT and tell me all the ChatGPT words. What is your strength and weakness? It was a very tacky question. So what did I do? I told her that I have anxiety, which is actually true. I cannot walk into a place without being prepared. So I need to prepare ahead of time. This is what I love doing. So I need to prepare ahead of time. In order for me to do that, I study. So my weakness is also my strength, because when I study, I'm always I'm always aware of whatever thing I want to do. So you cannot catch me um, off guard. And then she was like, "So what do you mean? Does it mean that I can't just walk up to you and like ask for your opinion on something?" I'm like, "No, yes, you can ask, but whenever I make an impulsive decision, I don't feel good about it. So in order for me not to beat myself like that, which is my weakness, so I work on my strengths to avoid my weakness." I think that was the highlight of my response to her. So questions like that could come up. So you have to practice in your head, in your mind, repeatedly look at your screen. You can make a video of yourself introducing yourself, talking all your friends. So me, I spoke in front of my friends. Like they sat down there, I was speaking to them and was telling them, like looking at them eyeball to eyeball, while smiling and everything. So you will not know your capability until you try. You feel like you can actually talk, but when it's time for you to talk, you cannot articulate your words. So in order for you to do practice, practice, practice. When you've gotten everything you need to write, everything you need to do, you have to practice. Sit in front of your friends, your family, make a video of yourself, watch the way you sound in the video, in your video, or you can make an audio if you're too shy to make a video at first instance. Make an audio, listen to the way you sound. Maybe there are things you could say. You could write whatever thing you want to say so that it will help you. Because the best thing that can happen to you is to make your interviewer like you. You have to let them like you. If they accept you at first glance, your face and your appearance, you are good. The next thing for you is for you to like sell yourself to them. So apparently these are the things I really did. I worked on my skills. I connected with people that I needed to connect with in when I got invited, and for people to like invite me for the jobs. I studied very well. I built my confidence. I made good rapport with the interviewers. And at the end, like I got like two offers. One interviews were still pending, which I actually rejected because I was already stressed and I needed to start schooling and everything. So with this, I kind of feel like if you put all these things that I've said into practice, believe me or not, you will see massive improvements. You will get calls for interviews. You if you get the calls for interview, you move into you see the difference, because I saw the difference. I implemented it to my friends. They saw the difference. They had their jobs coming in and everything. So why won't I share this to you? For the people that have actually really helped, I've seen the difference. So these are the things that work for me. And not everybody will tell you, they'll like say everything, but these are the things that I work for me. And I'm very happy that I have like few circles here that could use this. It's not like for everybody to know. It's not an idea that I'm going to sell. This is my small community. Like I can, my own way of giving back to the community that helped me. And I hope that I've been able to share my knowledge such that it can be put into practice. And also, if you have any question and something you do not understand, anything that you would like to ask, you could come on the microphone and ask your question, or you can leave it on the chat box. So thank you very much. Yeah, Alfred, you can ask your question, please.
Good evening, ma. And then thank you for all this all the information, the tips, everything. I mean, they are very, very important to me. Thank God I've jotted down. So my question tonight is for somebody, I mean, for high school certificate holder, what would be your advice to them while going for interview? Because most time, I mean, most of the people I have come across when they are talking about it, they'll be like, they'll be like their university, how will I put it? They have gone to higher institution or they have an MBA, all those things, master in business. So for somebody that is holding a high school certificate, why going to interview? Because sometimes I think this is another weakness. So what would be your advice to somebody that's holding a high school certificate?
Okay, thank you for your question. So prior to you applying for the job, if before you pass through the interview, like the assessment for your CV, that means you have what they are looking for. So apparently you have been working on projects, like I said. You don't need to be in school, because part of the interviews I didn't speak about anything in my about what I did in school. They only asked me, tell me a time you worked with a team, tell me a time you built a project, what was your greatest achievement, and all the stuff. So part of the requirement for the jobs I applied was to have a master's degree. If they're asking for a PhD, definitely I would not apply because I do not have a PhD. So you have to look for the job requirements. What are the listing there for it? So now it's left for you the projects that you have built, even if you don't have a previous experience. For me, I did not have any previous experience in data analysis. It's like the job that this is my first job, my first real job in data analysis, because I was in banking, like I said earlier, and I studied estate management. So you see where I'm coming from. But because the job requires people from masters, that's why I applied for it. And for your own case, you could see jobs that do not require any certifications at all, like there are no specifications for it. So those are the ones you could target, and then you could work with the skills that you have built. Um you can use your experience, like the projects that you have built, work on good projects, build it on your portfolio, your GitHub, that you could share. You can turn it to something very, very good, and then you present yourself. So you really do not need like to have those big experience, as long as the job description does not say you have to have PhD or masters, or you have worked for how many years or everything. I hope I answered your question.
It's very correct. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So Tina, your question.
Okay, good evening. Thanks for all you have taught. Um, a situation when you are asked what is your expected salary, what would be your reply?
Okay, that's a very good question. So this is what I have used. I think the best question you in response to those questions, you would say, I believe that every company have a budget for the salary budget. They have salary expectation, they have salary budget. So you'll be working, you would like them to like, that's the first thing, you would like them to like share what's it's their the range of their salary, so that you could know, because that's just the truth. They have their budget. They have, even if they don't place it there, they have what they have actually said, that this is what we are going to pay. So you should throw the question back to them. I'm like, I believe that every company have a particular amount that they've stated for this particular role, so they should be able to tell you that. And then if they place it on your phone and you feel like it's open for you to negotiate, I think it's better to negotiate far above whatever their limitation is, because most times companies now act like a marketplace. They'll give you whatever price, and then if you fall for it, then that's it. But in cases like that, when they ask you a question, the best response should be, I believe that every company have a particular amount of money set for a particular role, so you'll be working with whatever thing they have for you. Did I answer your question?
Thank you.
You're welcome. So any other question?
Okay, so I have a question.
Okay, Fatima.
Yeah. So, while you were explaining um the application for jobs, so
Okay.
one issue which I have experienced is, of course, I'm currently employed, and there is this thing I see everywhere on LinkedIn, social media, where they tell you, okay, apply for jobs that are 24 hours to 40, that are posted between 24 hours and 48 hours. That's usually the language. And for you to do all these things, all these templates, rearrangement, trying to redraft your CV, you most likely need to like really sit down and do a lot of these things. Look at the job role. Even if ChatGPT gives you something, of course, you have to look through it and then use it to rework your CV. So between this time, trying to meet this timeline of 24 hours, jobs that are posted within 24 hours, and trying to rework your CV, and then being employed, because a lot of things you can do if you are not currently working or not currently engaged, and when you're engaged, how do you manage that how do you manage to navigate that
Okay.
transition? That's
Okay.
one.
Okay. Continue.
Secondly, the how to introduce yourself. So there are times when I've gone for interviews, or a few interviews, where the interviewer does not want to hear your long story of where you have worked, what you did for the company. They tell you, because some people are just cranky, and at the end of the day, we are human. So when you start talking for too long, they already write you off because you're taking our time, you're talking for too long. So how do you manage your time on the specific things to just provide maybe the pungy points to just provide while you are trying to introduce yourself and manage your time?
Okay.
And the templates, so you said you're going to share us a copy of the CV.
Yeah.
If you can also share us the template of how you send messages to recruiters, that would also be helpful. So that's not a question, by the way. That's just a request.
Okay, I will do that.
Thank
So
you.
I'll start with the aspect of introducing yourself. So I'm going to introduce myself to you for a company. It's the name of the company is L'Oreal. It's one of the number one cosmetic company in the world. So here is my introduction. Hi, my name is Amelia Evant. I like to describe myself as someone who is curious and enjoy new and exciting ways of doing things. I'm currently running my master's degree in business intelligence, and prior to this, I work in financial industry. But I needed to understand how economic policy affects the business world. That's why I decided to go for my master's degree. And one of the reasons why I'm applying to discuss is to put my skills in data analysis into use, and to also to help the supply chain, which is agile, and to put my and also to learn from a company like L'Oreal that sets the standard for production. That's like one of the simplest that you can do. Did I take time?
No.
Yeah. So it's less than 60 seconds. You've said everything you want to say, your past experience, why you want to work, what will your skills do for you. So that's it. Then they will do a follow-up question for it. So the second question that you asked for, like the time frame, I know there's this more like it's like a propaganda, would I say, that they tell you when they post a job, you should apply in the next 24 hours, or 100 people have applied on LinkedIn. I feel like those things are just, when you click, once you see a job and you click, the algorithm takes it that you click apply, 100 people click apply. But how many people actually apply to that job? So what I always do, LinkedIn is my alert for it, but I go to the company website to post. Most of the companies say as long as the job is online, you can apply. So in that case, I just go. I don't care about whether 1,000 persons have applied, whether it was sent. Like sometimes even a month ago, you could still apply for the job, right? So there's no harm in applying. You said for those people that are working, I worked in the bank, so before now, and then my this thing, my applying for my school. So you can imagine how tedious. I have to get to the office by 7 a.m. and then I will come back most times 7 p.m. too, and then I have to apply to schools. So it will be stressful for you, but you have to put in the work. So most of the times I sent in my applications and everything, it's at night when everybody's sleeping. So it distorted my sleep and everything. So putting the work 1 or 2 hours, this is what you are doing at that point in life. Nothing should matter to you. You have to be selfish. If I want to get this job now, nothing matters to me. If I'm trying to apply for a job, it matters to me. It has to be a job. I have to get a job at that point in my life. So I dedicate my time. I don't have to talk to my friends anymore. I don't have to do anything. I have to be selfish because I need to get past this phase. This is what has worked for me. So in the process of you applying to job, you're juggling your normal job and then applying. You can do this as a side hustle. People say applying to job is another job on its own. That's absolutely correct. It's true. It can be disputed. So for that, if you have to take in 2 or 3 hours time for you to like apply to that job, my dear, do it. because the one that is wearing the shoes, you know what is where it's itching you. So you either apply for the job or you stay jobless. So it take you for put in 2 hours or 3 hours to apply for the job that you know that you will get. So what I'm trying to say is that when you see something that say 24 hours, most times, except the job gives a timeline, oh, it will expire on the 15th of so and so days to apply, expire on the 16th. Then you know that there's a time frame. But don't look at people that when they post a job 24 hours again and you're saying, oh, they posted it 24 hours, I want to apply. That is false. That is not true. So whatever job you see, whether it was posted 2 weeks ago, please just apply for it. Don't look at what people are saying and everything. Who knows? Maybe your application is the one that they're actually looking for. So work on the CV. If you dedicate 2 days, 3 days to work on a particular CV, just do it. Forget about what people are saying. It's all about you. Be selfish for once. Apply to that job. The worst case that will happen is a rejection, which is normal. So don't be scared. Did I answer your question?
Yeah. I just
And
remembered another question. Sorry that I'm
okay,
asking
it's
a lot of
fine.
questions. So when the host was trying to introduce you, she would mention that because one of the things against Nigerians is our location. Sometimes I'm afraid of applying for international jobs and putting my location because I know that Nigeria is not so worthy when it comes to international employment. So, what do you say in that aspect? As a Nigerian staying in Nigeria, trying to apply for international jobs?
Okay, so before that, I'll ask you a quick question. Do you think there are people in Nigeria working in international companies?
Yes, I know they are.
Okay, so that means you can actually do it. So it's going to take more time, more strategy, more everything. The hard work that people are putting outside of the country, you have to do ×3 or ×4. And I'm saying that for myself because for me, I'm living in a country that they do not speak English and I do not speak the language. So I am competing against ATS. I am competing against international students of the 20% or 10% English jobs that are available as compared to French students. So I have to put in the extra work to apply. And let me tell you, in my class, I was the first person who got an internship as an English student who doesn't speak French. So people that speak French, they don't have it. So you have to put in the work. So that's it. There's nothing in anybody that has achieved that you cannot. Just have that mindset. So if people outside of the country is like putting in 10%, you have to put in 100%. So that's what I have to tell you. So for me, I believe I am competing with thousands of students for 10% or 20% international jobs that are available. So I have to ace my game. So that applies to you as well too.
Okay, thank you. I think that covers all my question.
You're welcome. Gabriel.
All right. Good evening, ma.
Good evening, Gabriel.
Thank you so much for opening our eyes to all these secrets.
You're welcome.
Please, my own is a very quick one. I really want to know whether I should just hold on with every application and get get my portfolio very well optimized by building more portfolio, more projects that will be very attractive to or impressive to the potential employers before I start making applications. I'm just asking, is that the right thing to do, or as I'm applying without any, any project in my portfolio, I should apply without any portfolio, any project in my portfolio? Please, can you help me out? I want to hear from you. What is
Okay.
really the right thing to do? Thank you, ma'am.
All right. So, well, the two of them can coexist. If you can shuffle between the two of them, it's fine. But I feel like you have to be ready. so that when they ask you a question, like women in Nigeria, they always ask lady, what do you bring to the table? You should be able to show for it, because you will not be going into somebody's office without anything to show for. If you feel like you have the skills, then you could start applying. If you feel like you don't have the skills, I think it's best for you to build. You know yourself better. You know what you can present. You know how you can showcase your skill. You know what you can like do. For me, I felt like I wasn't confident. That is it. I wasn't. I knew what I was doing, but I wasn't confident enough to express myself or tell people that this is what I could do. That was why I joined EDTS. Honestly, that was my number one thing. So I needed to work on more projects. I needed to like, oh, even if they call Emilia, can you do this? Yes, I said I can do. Can you do this? No, I cannot do it. I needed that part. I needed that clear view of what I can do. So if you feel like at this point in your life, you can, if they ask you, Gabriel, can you do this? I want you, can you do this for me? You say, yes, I can do it. Fine, you can start applying. But if you feel like you need to build more portfolio, things that you'll be confident you can showcase, I'm like, oh, I can do this. Even if they wake me up at this time of the night, I can do this. This is my area of specialization. Then you go ahead and do. But if you feel like you don't have that skills or that confidence, I think you should work on your project for now.
Thank you, ma. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Alfred, you have your hands raised up.
Okay, ma, it's Alfred again. Please, I'm a little confused in this. There is something someone told me a few days ago about. Okay, we were having a little this conversation or discussion. So he asked me if I can do business reporting. So I was like, I was a bit confused there, to be honest.
If you could
So
do what?
I was like, business reporting,
Increase.
business reporting.
Oh, okay. It's
Okay,
just a
so
report.
I was like, I was lost there, to be honest. So after everything, I had to go and make a little research about it. So I discovered that data analysis, when it comes to building dashboard, that that is also a reporting. But I was like, a report that I was like, I'm not really sure if this is really what he means. So I
So
want to understand, is this something? Okay,
yeah, it depends.
go ahead, man.
For a business analyst, like that's one of the difference between a business analyst and a data analyst. Like there's a to foresee the future and provide the solutions. What's your idea? And then the data analyst, you're using data. So like, oh, this is the data we have. This is what is actually happening. And then how can we use this data to identify what the problem is, the insights, the business idea, like this is like you have in your mind, you are seeing it, but there's no data on it. So for the report aspect of it is whatever findings you have as a data analyst, you write it out. It's not about creating dashboard. It's the insights you generate from the data you have. That's one thing I forgot. Compelling dashboard and everything. This was where my fears was, but I couldn't generate insights. If they give me a data set, how do I generate an insight? How do I check the problem that I have that are there? So as a data analyst, now that you have seen the problem, without even creating a dashboard, you can actually see the problem there, even just with pivot tables. That's why you use pivot tables. With pivot tables, you can see the problem that are there, and then you write a report on it. So that's another thing that most people don't know. It's not about those dashboards that are really fine. Can you create an insight out of it? This is one thing I learned with one of the career readiness with what's Danny and Tay. So I like that was one of my best projects because it was something I really didn't know. I could see a data set and I'm stuck there for like 4 days. I don't know how to generate insights. But for now, I think I can work on a data set and I'm seeing a data set. I know what I'm going to do with it, which was what helped me with my live technical interview. I didn't expect it. I was there. They just throw in, oh, there's a data set. Please generate an insight from it. I did that with pivot, and there was no time for me to create a dashboard. It was generate an insight, 30 minutes, you present to us. So that was it. That was how I passed my interview. So as a data analyst, you have to, aside from this compelling, beautiful dashboard, can you generate an insight from a data set? Can you write a report? Those insights that you have seen, those problems, those solutions, how can you write it as a report? That's your business report. Oh, there's a problem in so and so place. This is what I recommend. This is the problems I found. This is everything. So that's your business report. So aside from having the UX design and building those dashboards, can you generate and do you have an insight of what the data is saying? And can you present the business report to your stakeholders? So that's the question you should ask yourself. You can do it. If you think you can, yes, you can. So can you do it, Alfred?
I think I can do it. Thank you, ma.
You're welcome,
Thank you.
Gabriel.
Sorry, ma, a quick one, please. Sorry, I'm taking
It's
additional time.
okay.
Please, uh, someone advice. I don't really know your advice on tailoring my, I kind of concentrating on a particular niche. Talking about maybe your data analysis projects are tailored to a particular niche, say health, and that it's a good idea to tailor uh, your skill to a particular niche. So what do you have to say about that? Thank you, man.
For me, I actually do not have a particular niche. I set it down for myself because as a data analyst, I can work anywhere. So for me, I feel like I do not have to create a particular niche for myself because do I want to go into supply chain analyst? What if there's a job for another thing for me to do? Do I want to go to healthcare? Do I need to go to marketing? Do I need to go to HR? A lot of things I can do as an analyst, as a business data analyst. So the idea is for me to be versatile in whatever thing I want to do. I should be flexible. So I believe for me, I do not need to have a niche, like something I have to concentrate because if I want to concentrate on it, I think I would be stuck because I get obsessed with a particular thing. So I don't want to venture into, oh, it has to be healthcare. And then I'm seeing something else that I can do and I'm like, it has to be healthcare. So that's not for me. It might work for you, but for me, it's not. So peradventure, I was able to get a supply chain analyst. Yes, I could work as a supply chain intern. If I get to marketing, I can work as a marketing intern. If I go for this thing, HR intern, I can work as a HR, people analytics, financial analyst, all those things I could do it. So I need to be open-minded. That's why I do not create a niche for myself. But I know in the future which area I would want to eventually go into. So it might work for you if you feel like that's the best approach for you to go, like master. I want to go to people analytics and everything. If you want to go for that, yeah, you can go. But for me, it's not something I want to do.
Thank you so much. I
You're
appreciate you.
welcome. So, any other question before I take a leave? So, Francisca, I get there's no other question again.
What is many night to put into practice what all we have learned? I follow
Yes,
up.
So much for
I
this
think,
section. So
yeah, you
much.
should. I think I should like drop my email address for you guys because that's the fastest response I can actually get. Like I read my email like my WhatsApp. See, I don't even read my WhatsApp. My email is my number one. Everything I check. So even on LinkedIn, I might not really respond, but if you send me an email, I will definitely. I'm going to leave my email in the chat box for you here. So anyone who is interested in sending me a message, maybe you found a job and you want to apply, you want me to like check it for you, I could do that.
Yeah, we would appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, I have dropped it.
Oh my. This is why I love someone called it, is it EDTS spirit? Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Can someone explain the EDTS spirit for me?
Spirit of readiness.
Readiness, okay.
Spirit of resilience.
Beautiful, okay.
Action spirit. Action.
Action spirit, okay. Nobody else.
Spirit of selflessness.
Selflessness, always ready to lift each other up, always ready to be there for one another. It's not just saying, I've done mine, I don't care about others. Emmy is like, if you get a job, send it to me. I'm ready to take you through the road. If you have a question, email me. I'll hold your hand and put you through. I always tell a lot of people to invest in yourself is the best thing you can ever do for yourself. Don't work in isolation. Be in a circle of people who are trying to achieve the same thing you want to achieve. It makes the work so easy. So imagine you're not in this circle now and you not meet Amelia. What are you going to do? Someone who is ready to hold your hand, to push you, to motivate you, to show you the strategy, show you the way, and still telling you when you want to apply, reach out to me and I'm going to help you. Please, everyone, can we appreciate her with our favorite emoji? Because she deserves it. Your favorite emoji. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you. Thank you for taking your time to be here. Thank you for, you know, every bit of information you gave us today. We appreciate you. We love you. We're happy you came to EDTS and now you're guiding others. Not everybody is going to get a job and they're ready to show you all the secrets, right? But she got hers and she wants her fellow interns to get theirs. And that is why she's here today. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. So I've come to the end of this event. There's something I wanted to say, but let me cut the recording.